2015 is July 9th. You know, it's pretty early. It's really past noon. 01:58 here in Buenos Aires. I am not okay. I'm out of all the people that are not alright. I'm suffering damages in a very massively intentional way, and destructions, and happening murders, and worse. There are certain realities that I'm so sick of. Certainly for, as the clear about this whole. It's not what much of times the best ever understanding as the holding, as the affording, as the trying to can simply giving at the most of sense whoever to be around to just think reality and how to survive. Clearing about this, there is this that I am really sick of and tired. I'm going to tell you one thing. In the world, whenever there is the clear fact of element of domain and power, element of playing the hero, and element of trying to be the first, and the only one to attach and nothing off, there is a clear fact that is a wide, clear field where the whole of the, shall I say, whenever there is candidates, always seeks the element to making the showing up. And about as best ever matches the understanding of human, to try to establish that got to be that one. At the referring of testing and showing who better can define and who better can at the definition show that definition can be exactly that. Place institution and the head of. No obstant, at the reality, this is not a clear fact of the whole in the world, make this. And I am not arranging a thing. And not being we have a simplicity. As we understand who it really is, institution and institutable for the reality as we go through is exactly as ever we understand who attached at this reality to make the preservation, to making the right order and the right instituting of the clearing for what it means authority. And what it means authority is establishing what as healed, as order, as justice, as genuinely truthful, real truth, respect and order delivered for each as members of a community, nation, society, institution, to proceed into the holding as what this all components of a person which living based in community, each of them like a part of a complete real corp, which it means nation, communities, institutions, society, to deliver as a clear fact that a person has the optimalistic and safety which institutions provides for this order and respect to be plausibly at the clear field of real, recognized, respected, and orders instituted for that to happen that way. Each as member of this nation, society, communities, institutions, to be provided for the goodness and the benefit which these institutions as authorities delivers to. So the real of this whole situations and circumstantial that this all brings about the life, much of times happens that much of clearing for the need of whatever to proceeding and possessing, for the favor of those that are put it outside or outside for the reason of institutions want indoors, saying after all, mistaking is human and forgiving is divine. Example. After all, we're humans, and it's of humans mistaking. And after all, human has rights to be, and societies and institutions and laws changes, so favoritismly, for all that excrementally, ruinly, miserably, the most of this class makes lucrative business about destroying and yelling, and supporting and holding, lifestyling a crime, not for the people to not be helped or assisted whenever there is any social character of problems or marginality or any other class of elements that we understand existed. So suddenly, as the corrupted character of this is genocide, which I see it here all the time. Argentina is exactly the cradle of this abomination with much other sectors around the world, not states. But there are states which complicatedly has the enemy within and others that are in favor of this all over. And there is not about that we were working with justice bodies, thanks God, and really with conflicts and problems. At the clear fact of this situations, we go through a lot of other. And a lot of other is the complex character of what it means, human. And it's not definition, mind control, tellership, philosophy for criminals, favoritismly, crime, corruption, and the generations like Ockham, Machiavello, Dirisio, Arminatio, Crovalia, Rustro, Imbazzi, Cartix, and Jovel, to saying examples. So in the middle of this all, we understand that there is missing the reality we need. And whenever we don't find reality, there is a mess. I'm going to explain you on this side what it means charity the person in front of law and institutions. I am tired and sick of certain class of sickness which calls power and authority anointed. And this is not everybody because of the Israel nation that I am part of. And if they consider I to be worthy, I will be worthy, baluarte. If they consider I to be treasure, I will be treasure. But if they only consider I to be member, I am satisfied as well. Because of Adonai will deliver to us the days that we have to go through, and who we in front of Him for the reality of His name and His own. And I love them, and I will love them ever. All through these realities, there is this, which at the character of the corruption, prostitution, manipulation, abduction, and power trying to define and trying to establish as the making the black become the sea of the field with the term of Christianism United Evangelics. Associated, and not all, come again, that's the problem, victims. Associated at the whole of the criteria, an element for discrepancies and descriptingly, only for powers, conditions, and positions of the powers, positions, entitled and proceeding into because of Lord has mercy of the ones in eminence, and the ones that has the clear fact of institutions with the character of the real authorities, attacked and destroyed because of they are not at the mercy of souls of the hell. So at the clear fact of this, how do I define souls of hell, and how do I define victims? How do I define the real authorities? I already explained to you how this comes about, which is exactly this. As victims, understanding what a victim becomes, which is we're studying to try to best like and making themselves the figure and shape like for the having opportunistically we are going to do to it, and we are going to forward, and we're going to possess the world. And I already defined the character of the exhibitory evidence supporting for who they are and what they do. The clear fact of the real victims is abductively, corruptively, denigratively, destructively, conscience, identity, acknowledge of self-reality, self-condition, self-criteria, and self-state, and used for the making vectors for the whole behind coming and destroying everybody, and taking opportunistically the generations like Sodom and Gomorrah and Gersmas, which are the same with them, una sort, making the same every day. So, Sodom and Gomorrah cities is exactly the term as the class of consciously, intentionally supports these whole machineries, which are Sodom and Gomorrah. Kidnap, invention of judicial, policial, defense, same institution and government sense and command. Massively raped and murdered, serially raped and murdered for thousands to one, with pseudomona, idi onosononomona, gimbotlasi, in blood injected, for them to hang on. And pseudomona hormonal, not bacterial, which is real as well. Like they use it to make it permanently rape, and they said FFFF word. Like if everything will be just sexual act and everything is okay, and they are not going to be called what they are. And they will only say who they be, or murders. So suddenly, Bethlehem, Sodom and Gomorrah is exactly this, and sacrificial, for the same they are going to be gods in heaven. So making forgeries permanently, no class of destructions, kidnaps, threats, menace, character, trading on the you do or I kill them, and permanently to my person, understanding with this, I am the one I am. Because of, you cannot tell me that a considered state, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, Kirchner, with them United Evangelics to concentrating to murdering diplomats corps of the states. Governmental in the US, in Israel, in Europe states, in Russia, International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, United Nations, with the character of advertisementally, I will be wanting to be the star. If I wouldn't proceed or accept anything, they to be murdered, which is happening permanently, as opposed to Larry's. So suddenly recognizing I am Maria, and pretends to masking me like the beast because of they said they are going to do to me. And of the character of the soul, making permanently the staging over manipulation, the trying to making people abductively accept the character of understanding and feeling that they are the only reason of the life, that only reason of the God himself, and instituted by because of we are at the government taking positions and being called with a title. And it generates all through the history we're doing exactly the same thing. And the generates have put in the world that we are suffering today still. This class. So in the middle of this, we understand the character of instituting, while corruption machineries for crime lucrated element to profit having, earning, on the whole of the ruining, the generating, sickly, abominably, and class of Bianskino Kandaklekin abominations instituting for those business ahead. And beholding from them, from the whole of the ailing, destructive, corruptive, prostitutably, whatever to be, at the producing also to a society and a nation they too live and have business of. Because of, we're human after all, and it's of humans in a state. After all, forgiving is divine. So in the middle of this soul, no end justifies no media. In the middle of the soul, the simplest explanation of a situation is not right. In the middle of the soul, the most of the nearest character of the understanding of the human conscience never delivers into the truth. And neither the capacity of the only watching and observe at the clear of the understanding a behavior of a person will define a conscience for a diagnosis or a criminal state. Erratically, this machinery produces a lot of things that are not at the touch of the simplicity of an observant moment for the making a simple attach at self-business. Like Cuerpo Médico Forense with the Department of View, Justicia Creída de Argentina, and Creídos Expertos, which are the machinery manipulating permanently in the excellence of the hell, and I'm sorry, the cynicism, because of art. For the understanding by tellers and other characters how to forge and manipulate organized arm, criminals and the generate, and producing organizedly the degenerados, criminales, psicópatas, abominables, Sodom y Gomorrah, and associated business upon us every day. Now, there is this tale all around that evangelists are permanently pronouncing about my person. And one of them heard saying that Adonai will be doing this to me Adonai will be doing this to me because of I will be wanting to be the star. Because of I will be plainly ego, pretending to using his name and his spirit for I to be the star of the world, and everybody to adore me, and everybody to have me like an idol, and I will be the love. I am so fashion, blessed the Hama, blessed the he glamour, and so blessed the love me, adore me, blessed the and I will be hypocritically manipulating with this and saying the denial psychopath that parrada degenerada, just like I just described it, they are and the says I to be. Because of us the idol and the liars with this class of elements and working like consciously that business that I had to be because of basis they demands. Then, at the clear of the soul and the alumni just in case. Gibson recording. Great, sorry. And I'm still impatient, still rough, and still making tentative. Sorry, forgive me. It's funny. Such a serious talking I'm having with you here, and also International Criminal Court having the expect for the pliktias matlachidis of the deflacancy devices, I mean, forgive me, please. Suddenly, at the fact of this, in the representative combo blessed to my blessed such like the Redechadot Mosele Escapsuba, Nashavan. And like the Redechachmat Verispotas, Eshlaki Redechatmas, Esofna. So clearing for this situation and all through the terms is exactly carefully keep as much of a how possibly and how possibly these will tell what I'm saying to you. So suddenly I will be declared and wants to be found. Wants to be the glorious and and the whole associating free lens of hell with the used ones and conscience the most, to saying that they commence and they are the authorities situated by the Lord because of their most huggish profaning the things of JHA'I, to the making people believe and understand and accept, abductively, corruptively, prostitutively, destructively, prostituting, and too deep on the plechti couple as my plechti dishkot lemon like JHA'I but let's have move. Because of they says the strongest is the winner. Is the rule of the triangle. We don't live in triangles, we're human. And human is responsible, and responsible delivers conscience, and conscience delivers. You don't cheat the reality. And God is not saying, oh, you're human after all. And it's not going to say that. And that's not the fearing. We got to understand, whenever there is an effort to make it right, whenever there is a person that is in character of understood the reality and what we should do, and embracing the best effort, even if mistaking, which is not justifiable for the making crime. All right, a mistake is a mistake, we fix it and we grow and we reward. The problem is how we deal with this lacra randada, right? Then, so suddenly in the middle of the soul comes the whole of the arguments that they said that Lord does this to me and to us, because of they said they are Lord and not me. So, I give it a description. Gafaliki Rabatlak, but Losum of Ladesvatlaki, Shatlasam, Klagrov, Amatselis, Fotomatlaki, Spotlesmatlaki, Laki, Sotletes, Matles, Petlahat, the Smokikis Patla, the Taktikis Kot, Sibian, Sukadu, Kuatletam, Gafaliki Rabatlak, the Spotles, Matles, Petlatis, Saklakish, the Matlate, Hodlatik, Latika, Matlasak, Lakish, the Temti, Gafaliki Rabalos, Atlasida, Lakis Kot, the Matlaki, Saklaki, Matlakis Patam, Plaskidis Spa, Gafaliki Rabatlak, the Sopletachmatik. In myself, I am the one that comments here, and I am the expertise, and I can tell you that all because I know it all. But he ignited me this, and he told us, national security and to assert that we could using his spirit and refining him and making the witchcraft to discover and to see and to make in our security. And with this, and like this, hidden liars, we have rights to it because of we are the ones that come and see and we are government. His spirit and his virtue belongs to the artists of Argentina, the learn that will be. And if that doesn't work, so I'll call the evangelic. Oh, this is going to fall. This is not going to, because of Adonai never let it having nothing because of he doesn't recognize and doesn't realize that we are the prophets. We said this will ever happen to him before he did do anything because of we are the prophets. And the only thing that they were doing were making kletias as one of the festivals Kuba Alok. Because the thing of prophet is what they were put it for the reason of Sodom and Gomorrah Sodom and Gomorrah can have them. Taliban so we are not going to be damaged because of God won't do nothing to us. Because of everyone that touched me without a blessed Yiham of Lechanim, that the whole world is aware, died and never came back. That's the reason why are permanently switching that plastic in Samin, except that the generates that are put it with the smart Sodoma rectum that perras prostitutas in Evangelis to support and saying, oh, Lord anoints you. Forgive me this, you understand what I say. Underbelly. Go into Sudan, so we defeat it. The mother is a prostitute. And the family is all criminal. The same just like saying to me, the most of the element over making machineries for division, isolation, and dissuading the capacity for the acknowledge and the people to reach out and the people to know real and using excrements and the generation opportunistic lacra and yield others for what they need as machinery on this. They are recognizing I am At JHA'I dislat sechishati ba'at JHA'I da amos nuam num Elia shua at JHA'I. Let's reflect machal chadis wat lemasera lakte chashechal kimat. En blevis wat lebetleti radechal kira rechmosach levis wat leseshtotzima at notzim. So reality is simply reflecting several parts. If these are the definition character of what institution or the respect and will of God to be, we are what we are and we see the rest. Sodom and Gomorrah and the whole of the abominations to be on command because of mercy of whom? What class of a love and mercy and salvation for the wreck and for the wicked of an expresses here. What class of a wicked to be regretness and repenting about, to be holding or embracing blessed Hamos Kubat Nasim. Will this deliver into what class of a God? What is the character of the mercy? They determinate themselves for days as they are anointed, and they have revelation, habitualizing like any magician, making practices of apletic hamat lefes botam, and accepting all class of apletic masim, themselves character of making the smirchly, abductively destruction and pardon for victim, for there to be succeeded, saying that that is the institution of the Lord, theirs. They can't cut and hell demon, abducting, destroying, and delivering into their command, making pyramids abiso at nelu, katpuka. But lexit shadam, that's motam shadim. Pirámides de la misericordia de César. Betlik hamat lefesechlik hamat lefesechlik eshtatzimat chalachinim. Gabhalki repapech lachili sot lasira hamatsuba taksol. Despleki repapech lachmat lehispatlik ishpotzmot lerectivis asefos. How will possibly this be? What will possibly we embrace in this? So clear repapech tzibli farmat lehesechot lesik ishpotmat lehir regikat atlek soteshmosim. And criticizing and making up. I am touching you and you are under judgment and you are going to die for that. Like hell, forever shall I. And your hocus pocus, your evangelics, are not going to be succeeded in front of JHA'I because of also what you say, anointment belongs to JHA'I and not to you, and not to your Sodom and Gomorrah trouser. And you understand, your Sodom and Gomorrah trouser that you leave off with the burden of victims. Gadchalkin rebefek lachim sot lefech tashkel chamat lakim rebefek lachim otzer and bleves bot laki rebefek halchash bot lakim bot leves mot lacham so sends to murder people and to destroy people on the criteria of emblepti despotlesi, we are the ones that commanded, not him. And forges my signature, putting a custom puppet with a pet facial, static, supposed surgery, pretending to just like me, saying, now that one is this one with a degenerate biased intention and gesticulating, and whole of the rest at the making, like a custom disgusting complex hamasanim and not an ill one, just a degenerate, pretending that I to be that one and that to be endorsed, that one to forge my signature in a bad writing, that they will also make in the graphologic test for the saying that I will be that and discreetly everything of the forged signature of that of mine, and saying that I will endorse that, and I will say, oh yes, go ahead and do it. And any class of a degeneration, and making the generations and profaning my blood, selling my blood and my DNA still on cultivation of complexity of Masim, I never made a no testis no more. I never had AIDS. I never had no diseases. And if any time I went through any wherefore dealing with this degenerates to or I kill them. And trying to solve the situation while solved, proceeding into not gonna bear or care less. So, Glerrebetlech, Machalki, Gachliki, Despotama, Bletefechlach, Iliatica, Gerbelik, Ferelech, Hatibos, Lesmot, Letefeshvasim, and proceeded at the making the same all over and over and over, like the General of Criminales Abominables. There's nothing at the clear fact and using permanently the character of I already announced and shown. The character of institutions, nations, societies, communities, ethnics, creeds, and all class of social and societies partitioned to being cited and each machinery attached at the reality of this hegemonic diabla reventadas, Sodom y Gomorrah, to business in Abona, for each of them as sectorial elements within and outside for the making the condition and the whole of the embracing controls and domains about the whole this has its business about our people for whatever they need to word and kill and possessing thing that they demand, and it's what they said, delivering diablas reventadas, is every day making the same. So the whole of the social and communal partition has a machinery expressed by this to control the main and taking benefit, like Sodom and Gomorrah, with the Munera evangelics. And making every day the same with Barrata Generales, like officialism, to target and generate whenever something is discovered, like they have the domain and control, the beast. Creep. Or the beast. Breed. Yeah. Perhaps everyone. Gerhalkin Rababethla Habablesmatli Hamablesachal Shaban. And Leki Rabablechamatlechi Sohoshpadlamasem. So there's to saying that has rights to making to me and others what they do because of the delirious delusional and fiebrada pervers in other evangelics with the pardon of victims. There's to delirium the conceptualization of God demands and says, will of God, supposed love for mercy, for the salvation of God, and the supposed revelation of God, and the supposed prophets of God, and the supposed authorities for the path. Because of hardest purpose and determination of them faith and them telling will make it be, which they define like prophets. Any witch, any demon goes through seeking the same fever and profaning for having that or killing Rabbi or Rabin back in Sunnah. If I take the power away like who I am, saying devil take away, no devil no. God takes away And God says, no, JHA'I. And the reality is trying to kill, saying, give me back, because of the business cannot be off. And everything making the same to me and to us, and profaning and making the destructions and the degenerations and supporting brujas de Sodom and Gomorrah to making this business upon me and upon us, because of they says that they cannot be off. So suddenly I'm going to tell you the fever of the Roman, the Andelok Empire, is delivered and deliberately instituted by this degenerates. And they are this part of. And the Roman Empire has Babylonia, Miracia, Babel Manark, Didos, Sodom and Gomorrah, which are them cities with burden of victims. It's what this dedicates to do every day, embasing what they call government of the world and governments to possess the states and making the destructions and the generations they are doing to us. The problem is victims suffer. Justice cannot avoid the character of victims suffers. But even though shit is not to tolerate, the problem is we are at risk because of our organized and goes to murder all around. Because of power taken up, their responses with killing. I burn out them altars. I destroy them sorceries and goes to kill and destroy people all around. I ripped out the ones that are massively raping because of their system power and their lives and salvation, which instituted prostitutas, evangelics, because of he is nothing like Lord and he wants to be the star. And he thinks it's of God. Makes them and supports them to do. They do kill one each other. We are going to reign at last. And fiebre la mierda de Lucifer. Like Teller's expertise is always set first and it's a video of us. And he's telling us a video of Policía Federal Argentina. Of course. King Rebecca Hamapleti Sakmasim, taking the control all over and setting all over and organizing all over and never dismiss, no domain. So they do remain. And all we are going to do to it, he thinks he's going to win, he's a liar. And also, he doesn't like the competition, he thinks only he can be. And that's the thing, of course, and fiebre la mierda de Sodom y Gomorrah. Forget me the terms of the violence. Blessed hama blessed sefla hiri kable besman tlachalikish botama blechati atri os botama. And the clear fact of this is genocide and the generation, because of the delusion of the errors that genera la mierda, considered of being of Lord, makes chaos, corruption, prostitution, destruction, genocide all over the world because of they don't want to dismiss power, domain, prestige, in base of the strength which is genuinely, respectably orders of JHA'I, saying that they are the orders for the saving, that the generation and abomination, that these are in case of making market power prestigious about the fake of the lives of you are part of the church, you are not going to do a thing and you got to be on faith only. And that's the character of God. If you don't be on faith and you get a part, oh, that is going to be the fall and you're going to be on blessed be destruction. God is not for retributional character of making the tax paying for. Adonai doesn't need the contributions. Adonai is real mercy. Whenever a person is taken, whenever the person is attached at the reality of his love and his mercy for real, he'll leave, takes away from, and makes understand how to survive. Thus it says, oh, a part of the church, you don't move faith and power like we do, and everything is a mess and a disaster, and you fall again because of our making the really, the generately sick shit market for this class of a shit that says, oh, because of after all, is human to mistake and divine to forget. We're human after all. The whole really the generation that they produces for having business, to be the market for all of this, so you cannot do nothing, no, because of it's a habit thing. And we told you, Adonai is not your hardest pockets, and you are intentional in what you do. You're not going to share it. And so conscious, and I'm going to put you there. And not to the victims. For justice, yeah, justice. גרחלתי רבפרס להחיל לא מצמצחל בתלחינים, בתלפסתיו, so the yield, but this part of the generados, oh, Lord has mercy for the authorities of leprosy in the name of Jesus, and let us see for the Christ, and keep laughing, oh my God, for the Christ, and let us say how to give us flag, keep on doing the sharing too, sometime you're going to regret why you murder because of God has mercy, and make the whole generation, that is then will of God. And we are nothing like that, and high less. So clear rabbitik motleves batlaki rabefechol blesinot lesim. In leki rabefechlachi visot lesi veshot lenaset. Gerchalki rabechlacham. Understanding is something like I always were tolerating. And understanding is something like I always hold it for the reason of justice. And the clear fact of this, the trading ones are not the heads. And I am not manipulatively under the spell of horrors of hell. Amen for. Let's tell Chai. Gerchalki rebefech lachi vivlotesmot lebespechli geshbatzam. Gerchalki rebefech lachi vismot lebesim. The problem is the character and the factory of the generados, prisoner of expertises, and witches for Sodom and Gomorrah and rapists for Sodom and Gomorrah and the whole recruiting for the generados then Batibat, like Oficialismo Nasur. Oficialismo Argentina and Nasur. So this is the clear fact with the Smith, the potential destruction, but how do we do with the potential shit? Which are practically black matzah give shop let us matzah. How do we institute the real? How do we institute the sanitation for the whole as the societies and nations for real, the real ones, not the shit, to have the benefit of justice and orders for sanitation of institutions and nations, which is not ideologically element, neither impossibility, but a very fight and struggle. Because of it's not revolution, it's not politickery, and pardon for the ones that can define this on the respect. Forgive me, please. But the using of this politickery shit, but this glass from, oh, he pretends. No, this is a fight that humanity deserves. Wisely understanding what we are facing, this machinery I'm telling you, to understand how to survive this, to the trends ahead. Or just dismiss the world and putting the world in hell and taking the worthy and the victims and innocents and moving out. We have home in Chai, and Chai is the owner of everything, and he says, where now? But we visit it sometimes, don't you think? And with tellers that tells my terms and teaches the world to the being killed, serve the world, you think so? Right. So, forgive me please, https www.idrmcdmcdo.dxicdr middle mdxidx44349 middle 899394 bx4143dldrd 15855359 middle icbodxd855 middle, because if I want to be the star, I don't want competition and nobody else can do what I do, and nobody else can say, oh, Lord Caven, but only me. Let us fact like 4143-8489, forgive me please, even in middle OCRMC, middle CIS, middle MBX, 44.20, so it's a triple F4. The whole tools, and no, I am not giving lessons and methodically elements for the world to believe in a new star and a new way to the making, I don't know, what class of a very speed solution in world, no. We have a God, we have humanity, like I always were saying, prime matter, your reality, your person, recognize the truth and reality, and I have to build or destroy. But whenever you destroy, check there to be the ever non-worthy, or the things that are not for, and understanding how. And every time as you build, effort, every day, try to make the best that you have in potential, as richness as you are. For others, it's not easy, and I'm sorry for that. There is a lot of suffered people, there is a lot of situations. This all I just described, produced all over the world, and I'm not my placement, and cannot ever happen that to be. Unless of Eleanor. Gadchalki Rababek Lachati Basbat Blessing Kedeshkal Chaim Bemelachtecha Tasmosiba Ishlekif Matzechalam. And okay, Shem. Kat. Forgive me the terms, please. Still this July 28th, 2015. This is 2:24. I have been more than an hour speaking, and accused that the device just hold it, the capacity for it. Bless you so much, and I love you. And I love you, Justice Bodies, and bless you so much, Your Honors, Mr. President. And let's see how do we proceed this case, and I'm so sorry anyway. Still a lot of people suffering, but not massive rapes, murders, dispossessions, but crime organized. This plus about the generations, but making to me and to us what they do, saying we want to be the stars. And they only, hell and abominables, will be like any demon, the virus. Gonna be God. The briefing of today with all sincere and the clear cycles and blessings on us like in this one, that's complete, and blessed all Nasaham. There were bounds still with terrorism, but there's in the world, and still sending the generates for making the stage taking, and blessed Monsalic shop, let us bat, let us halim. And like the Rabafakla, have us Montlavis, let us shop, and blessed back. Geralki, Rabafakla, ham, let us bat, let's see if it is cut, let us ham, and he wore with that sweater and all over making the forgeries and lies and the generations for the making more crime about my person, not on me, because of I will schizophrenize you all and making you believe I will be and cheating you all and being just a supper to generate, and I wear the stick tongue over supposed having said it, sorry for the definition of this, as the textual deliver will be in whole of the world. They said, me, because of they said makes the witchcraft and rapes our people. But I will be the subordinate soul by another evangelics that generates supposed witnesses all over the world, like methodic moment, division of myself all over the world for 10,000 kilometers radius found having sex with Sodoma. And that will be my power to cheat you and the circus of we come first and stole in the video and making profanation for that each word the same before a sum, the trend of defining all of he's saying what we say, don't you see it says, and behind every reproduction and whatever that to be, also with attorney, nothing missing. Bless you so much, and I'm sorry for this, and we keep